gaming bets, online betting for every esports fan. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and Overwatch, StarCraft 2, the choice is yours. Express bets for multiple matches or live bets on the game you are watching right now. Know your way around Dota 2? Make a prediction for picks and bans. Playing CSGO? Guess the number of rounds in a certain match. Daily quest for all participants and all the best choice of payment systems. More than 600,000 users have already made their bets on the spectacular matches since 2011. EGB.com. You know for sure who's gonna win.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. If you are just tuning in, this is the Dota Pit Season 5 LAN final here happening in Split, Croatia, and we just completed our very first match here. It was Virtus Pro versus Elements Pro Gaming. I'm back at the panel, of course, with Lacoste as well as Gods. Gentlemen, did not take too long to get through our first matchup. Just under 20 minutes for Virtus Pro to claim the Game 1 victory. Lacoste, what happened, man?
I don't know, as I said before.
And that's why we had you on as an analyst.
I hate to break to you, but you need to know.
As I said before, I was expecting a quick, clean game from Virtus Pro. Judging by the picks, in my opinion, Virtus Pro had a stronger picks, and they executed it pretty good. Like, they had the timing well for their items, and once TA got big, there was nothing like Elements could do. They didn't have any push, like anti-push, and I don't know, just went wrong.
Well, let's break down the early game a little bit here. I mean, obviously it looked like on paper, and as you suggested, that Virtus Pro seemed to have a significant advantage just going into the game to begin with, but, you know, can you just bank on that alone? Was it Elements who maybe just kind of had a weaker early game and allowed Virtus Pro to just kind of run over them, Gods?
Yeah, I mean, Lil's Earth Spirit was very active, getting a lot done. That was kind of, I guess, I mean, when you win a game in 20 minutes, you kind of normally got to talk about the supports, I think, the most, because they're the ones who got VP such a good early game start. They were winning their safe lane with the Rubik Luna, Earth Spirit's roaming around everywhere. Omni Knight's just getting farm XP in the off lane. Like, every single lane was going fine for VP, so I think the early game, the lanes just, the supports that you kind of mentioned for Elements needed to be able to do more and have a good game, and they just didn't really step up.
Yeah, their supports didn't shine this game, and as Lil tweeted on the for ESL 1, he had problems with quick cast on Earth Spirit. It seems like it's fixed, as you can see.
Oh yeah, he was mentioning something about when you do the double cast onto yourself with the stone, or when you roll, the stone ends up behind you a bit. Yeah, but yeah, as you mentioned in that game, it seemed like it was just working beautifully in there. He had a magnificent magnetic jump into that mid lane and just absolute chaos. At that point, Elements had to kind of be on the back pedal, and Virtus Pro were in full control. But was there something that Elements could have changed up a bit in the early game, or maybe the way they itemized that could have just helped out their case a bit?
As for early game, they were doing pretty good in the laning phase, didn't die that much except for middle lane. As for items, I would Nikes went for Sangi and Yasha.
That's kind of old school.
Old school, but weird. But even if he went for something else, I don't think that would change that much, since Earth Spirit was playing out of his mind. Like, there was 5-man magnetize every fight. Hard to compete with that, especially with Omni standing behind and having Luna dealing a lot of damage, magical and physical.
Just felt like they couldn't keep up with VP. Like, VP would make, like, once they won that one team fight at the mid lane that you mentioned where he hit the 3-man magnetize, after that VP spent the next 10 minutes of the game on Element's side of the map. They were pushing aggressively at bottom and mid. They were making all these aggressive maneuvers, and the only thing Elements were doing on the other side of the map was a lifestealer split pushing. Like, they weren't really looking for kills or to make plays. They were just looking to say, oh, we can't fight them, let's split push, and meanwhile they're losing like half the resources on the map, which are meant to be theirs.
What they could have done is like try to get a pick off with Nyx and Nikes in him, and but I don't think that would change anything. Just drag the game a bit.
Yep. And what about from Virtus Pro side? I mean, did we see anything new from them from that? Is that just kind of Virtus Pro doing Virtus Pro things and just shutting out a weaker opponent? This is a team that we know to be kind of full divide back in the day, and have since then kind of had a stronger like captaining presence or something. They seem to be a lot more methodical, knowing when to take fights, backing away from fights they feel like they shouldn't take. Did we see like any sort of new form of Virtus Pro, or do we think that they just were kind of flexing their muscles on this one?
I think it's the old Virtus Pro. They just didn't have the, let's call it, luck at the SL1 and Boston Major. But what we can expect from VP is games like this.
Now, what about, we're going to be talking about and ramping up game number 2, and it's funny because yesterday I was driving over, and our driver, I believe his name was Igor, is a huge fan, good friend of Mitch on Elements Pro Gaming. He is their Croatian representative on the team, I guess, and he was hilarious in the ride, and he kept amping up how the team does have the potential, and Mitch in particular is a very solid player and has a lot of unique and interesting ideas. And it didn't look like it in that game, but he was leading me on to believe that Elements could be pulling out some unique stuff that, I don't want to say go as far as like tinfoil hat strategies, but they definitely had some unique strategies up their sleeve. I don't know if game number 2 is the time to pull it out or not, if game number 1 would have been the better time. I mean, we didn't see anything unique from them in game 1, right?
Yeah, this was their classic pick.
Yeah.
Starting up with Ogre and following up with their significant heroes. As for game 2, I talked to them before the game, and they said that we can expect something special, unique at the game 2, because they gonna go all in. They got nothing to lose, so I hope that works out well for them.
Yeah. Remember, it's of course not a single elimination, so even if things did end up going a bit short form in game number 2, they have that lower bracket, that scary best of 1 lower bracket to try to fight back from. But obviously, getting a win against Virtus Pro would be a huge amount of momentum for them. Anything you think, Parker, the Elements could try to dig out? I mean, we're starting to get a bit hype about potential unique strategies, but what do you think?
I think for Elements, a lot of this is like getting that first big LAN experience. They've now taken that, they've had that first game, they lost it in a bad way. They just need to go to game 2, nothing to lose. You kind of just play fearless Dota at this point. Why not go for a kind of different or crazy pick? If you've got something up your sleeve or a player feels like really good about something, I think this is where you just got to play to your team's strengths rather than say, oh, the other teams are picking these heroes, let's pick them too. No, I think the approach has to be you play around your team, what your style is going to be, what your players like to play. You can't just try and adapt and try and copy what opponent. If you try and play VP's game or do what like DC were doing, you're not going to do it as well as they are. You need to do what you can do to the best of your abilities.
Do you think, like, is there any part of it that maybe Virtus Pro is just a bad matchup for Elements Pro Gaming? Like, if Elements happen to be against someone else in the first round, they'd have a better advantage against. I mean, I'm not trying to get Elements in a position where it's like, no, they're just not good, and there's no one's going to be good against them. But, you know, when you think about Elements and Virtus Pro, they might have scrimmed together before. They're around the same region. They probably have some experience. I mean, what do you think? Do you think it's just a bad clash of styles for them?
Well, before the tournament, I don't think they scream against each other because they don't want to reveal it. So they pick a different partners to scream with. Everyone else who is not in the tournament. So pretty much that's it.
Yeah. Let's take a step away from this matchup because it sounds like there's going to be a little bit of a wait here. And I didn't get too much to talk about our actual schedule for today. This is just our first best-of-3 matchup with Virtus Pro going against Elements Pro Gaming here. But after this, we get to go into OG versus IG, a pretty hype matchup. OG, are they rusty? You know, they played a little bit. The last time they played was actually in the qualifiers for this event, and they didn't even have their full roster at the time. They had to use a couple of stand-ins there, so people are kind of questioning where are they at in 7.0. IG very fresh on 7.0. And then we go right into the lower bracket, guys. I mean, there is no mercy here. Day one, a team is going to be eliminated right out of the bat. We'll go into the loser of Series 1 versus the loser of Series 2, and then to finish out the day-to-day, we'll be going back into the upper bracket to see who's going to be playing through that second round. Of course, the winner of Series number 1 and the winner of Series number 2. What do you think? Is it a bit of a heartbreaking kind of a situation for a player's perspective to go into a tournament like this and realize that there might be a chance you could be going home the first day you come here to compete?
Oh,
Does that add any extra pressure?
Say again?
I was like, is there any sort of added extra pressure onto players when they know they're going to be heading into an event like this and there could be a chance that you're done day one?
Well, for them, I don't know. They're coming in this tournament trying to do what they do for a living, play Dota, so I guess they're aware of that situation and they'll do everything they can so that they don't drop out in the first day.
Now, it sounds like we're actually going to cut to a small break, and when we come back, we'll get ready to hop into game number 2 of Virtus Pro versus Elements Pro Gaming. We'll see you soon.
Baby, we ball out, never fall out. We let it all out. I turn this bitch up loud. Baby, we ball out, never fall out. We let it all out. I turn this bitch up loud. Baby, we ball out, never fall out. We let it all out. I turn this bitch up loud. Baby, we ball out, never fall out. We let it all out. I turn this bitch up loud. Baby, we ball.
falling like confetti. I don't give a fuck about you or what your money do. Picture you be running to the girls that I be running through are hotter than the sauna in the summer in Jamaica, dude. I tell them hold up when I pull up in my styrofoam. The purple got me moving slow. Guess that's why my mind is gone. The purple got me moving slow. You know you got me in my stranger. Where the hell you been? Won't you heal me of my sins? I can't keep going like this. Gotta find me a cup with some codeine in it. It's Chris, bitch. I've been holding in my anger. Who the fuck are all these strangers and these girls telling me save them? Go on Instagram and see these men trying to praise them. Same hoes hitting my line, but I don't answer once I slay them. I ain't Captain Saber hoe. I snatch your hoe and smash the hoe. She wetter than the Navy boat that's covered up in baby soap. I'll wrap the rope around your throat and we'll see if the casket floats. And pass the bowl back to the Pope and ask him where the body goes. Pass the bowl back to the Pope and ask him where the body goes.
This is why my mind is gone.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
This is why my mind is gone.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Look, bitch. I don't give a fuck about you. I want your money.
Looking for a fix in the wrong place, wrong time. Caught up in the mix of the cold days, hot nights. Gotta get down with that new craze, new high. I don't give a fuck. I'm loving every minute of this fast life. Baby, take my hand and I'll show you paradise. Gonna dress up, mess up your mind like I don't give a fuck. I'm in too deep and I can't stop. Dancing with fire, dancing with fire. It's a sick dream and I can't stop. Dancing with fire, dancing with fire. I know that I shouldn't stay, but I do anyway. I'm melting burn and I can't stop. Dancing with fire, dancing with fire. I'm in too deep and I can't stop. Dancing with fire, dancing with fire. It's a sick dream and I can't stop. Dancing with fire, dancing with fire. I know that I shouldn't stay, but I do anyway. I'm melting burn and I can't stop. Dancing with fire, dancing with fire.
Mini mix number 1 of the evening comes from DJ Snake. You remember that Bird Machine tune? Well, turns out there's more to the man than just the Bird Machine.
This is Animax Mini Mix.
Go.
Turn around, stick it out, show the world you gotta.
DJ Snake.
Some people want me to be heads or tails. I say no way, try again another day. I should be happy, not tipping the scales. I just won't play, letting my life get away. I move through now, I'm not a follower. I don't say things as they come, if they bring me down. Life can be cruel if you're a dreamer. I just wanna have some fun, don't tell me what could be done. You know your body drives me insane. Only because you know that you wanna feel the same. You know your body drives me insane.
What you want? Snapchat me that pussy. Snapchat me that pussy. Snapchat me that pussy. Snapchat me that pussy if it cool. Snapchat me that pussy. Snapchat me that pussy if it cool. Snapchat me that pussy. Snapchat me that. Snapchat me that pussy if it cool.
It goes down in the DM. 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 It goes down in the DM.
I see a girl post your DM, so I hit her in the DM. All eyes, yeah, I see him. It's your man, I hate to be on.
It goes down in the DM. It goes down in the DM. It goes down in the DM. It goes down in the DM.
Please give me that pussy. Please give me that pussy if it cool.
Please give me that pussy. Please give me that. Please give me that. Please give me that pussy if it cool.
It goes down in the DM. 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 It goes down in the DM.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We had a little bit of a delay, but it is time to get back into some Dota action. If you are just tuning in, this is Dota Pit Season 5 LAN Final here in beautiful Split, Croatia. I'm back at our analyst panel, of course, with Lacoste as well as Gods. Gentlemen, it's time for game number 2 of Elements Pro Gaming versus Virtus Pro. As we witnessed, it was a very brief game number 1, just under 20 minutes, but let's see if Elements can change things up for game number 2. I am holding on to the fact that they're going to be pulling out something funky here for the game 2 draft. If you had to guess here, Lacoste, what the funkiness is, what are they going to be pulling out?
Well, I think they're gonna pull out Necrophos.
Ooh.
That's for sure.
That's for sure.
In my mind.
That
yeah.
hero is really good, man. I want to see some more of it.
Well, Elements need to step up in their game and bring out the.
Let's go ahead and hop into the draft right now. We can see the first few bans are already underway here. It looks like Virtus Pro get rid of the Drow Ranger once again and the Underlord, the same 2 first bans they had in the previous game. Elements get rid of the Slardar, and now where do they go from here? Is it that Luna's got to go, Rubik maybe, Earth Spirit was a bit of a problem in game number 1. Obviously thinking about what they want to get off the playing field.
Well, as you saw in last game,
Shadow Demon they banned last game, I think?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I don't actually. Yeah, you let Shadow Demon through here. Okay, gotta get rid of the Luna. Does leave the Shadow Demon, and I mean Shadow Demon is still
Shadow Demon.
It's just
Instant
ridiculously good support. Okay, Lacoste, I'll give the challenge to you. Let's say there's some newer Dota fans out there and they don't know too much about what a Shadow Demon is. Why is he so popular? Just maybe like 3 things or something that you say that Shadow Demon is like one of the best supports in the game right now.
Well, because he can cancel the fight with the disruption, just buy some time for your team. That's number 1. Number 2, he has spell amplification. I mean, not just spell, all damage amp. It's just ridiculously strong, and late game, just complete beast spell. And third, his ultimate. That's going through a BKB. And just maximum slow, so you can't move.
So he's offensive, he's defensive, he's everything. Total package
Pretty
right
much.
there. Well, Elements go for one of their trusty pickups here. They get that Darkseer, and this is a wonderful pairing to go with it. Earthspear Darkseer has been kind of a powerhouse combo since Earthspirit was brought into Captain's mode, and then the response play from Virtus Pro is going right into a jug.
Well, that's what they've been playing for quite some time. Darkseer, it's Mitch's classic hero, one of the best, if not the best. And LeBron on his traditional hero, Earth Spirit, and these 2 combined, when he casts Iron Shell on Earth Spirit, just go in, makes mass confusion and tons of damage, so it's a really good combo. These 2 work out really well.
It kind of puts VP a bit on the back foot, like they have to suddenly react to this aggression that's going to be coming their way. And it's not necessarily just in the off lane. Someone like Earth Spirit can go down there, grab an Iron Shell, TP to another lane, and then roll in with that Iron Shell. And VP's second pick really is that kind of direct response, like, okay, we need stronger laning heroes. Juggernaut has the Blade Fury, the Magic Immunity, he's also got the Healing Ward to help sustain. I imagine we'll see even VP's later picks kind of mirror that sentiment that they need some kind of durability and some kind of sustain against those aggressive plays that Elements can make in the early game.
Elements bans Nyx Assassin because it's really good against the Darkseer, just cancels him in fight. And Virtus.pro after that bans Slark, which is Swift Endings, significant hero, if not the best, and works out really good with Iron Shell as well. And that's what they've been playing for quite some long, so seems like VP did their homework.
It used to be we used to see a lot of like Oracle come out as that direct counter for Darkseer, but people have kind of just fallen away from that a bit. I guess maybe just banking that Darkseer has other options, or Oracle being kind of pincered in that early lane, just kind of being a nuisance to Darkseer is maybe not as valuable as it used to be. How come we're not just seeing the Oracle come out as that direct counter anymore?
Well, Oracle was a bit nerfed in the last patch, so I guess that's the reason why we don't see him anymore. And he can still get the off lane right now, and this patch is not the hard lane anymore. I mean, you have a shrine which you can heal up.
That's true.
To a full HP and mana, and you have a bounty rune in your forest just waiting you to pick it up, and you can still get the XP and the gold, so it's really good for any offlaner.
Virtus.pro going back for the Omni Knight once again here. This comes after Elements had snagged up that Disruptor. Are we banking that this is going to be another core position Omni Knight once again, Parker?
I'd say so. I think VP doing something kind of smart by picking the same heroes. It's like you're playing the long game. You don't want to reveal too many different things to your future opponents in theories. If they feel confident they can win this series, like 2-0, whatever it may be, there's no point showing like other heroes you want to be playing. So pick something fairly similar, pick heroes that teams kind of can expect you to be playing, and this is kind of, I think, VP just going with something safe, fairly standard for them. And it is a good hero against the Darkseer Earth Spirit Aggression, having the heal, the repel as well.
Oh, OD comes out, and then Virtus.pro fire back with a sniper, which has been known as a good counter for the OD. What do you think about these last two picks?
Well, considering Sniper it's really a good hero against OD, a good matchup on mid, so and no one is really good on that Sniper. As for Omni Knight, as we said, it's good against the Darkseer and good against Earth Spirit and Disruptor as well, because of all that magical damage coming out from them, so they need to save their carry and the mid.
But that's the funky strat, right? The trick is here for Elements is that that's actually a support OD, and it's going to be a core Disruptor.
I don't think this is the funky strat, actually.
It doesn't seem like, I mean, unless this is going to be some super intriguing, like, one-position pickup from Elements. Virtus.pro moving to their 5th pick, and they snag up the Earthshaker.
Playing a bit more, again, they're the ones reacting, playing defensive this game. They've got the Disruption as a save, they now have a Fissure, they've got Repel. They want to just make sure this early game of Elements doesn't get too many kills, doesn't snowball too hard.
Yeah, because what it looks like Virtus.pro thrown together is they're a team that definitely has a build-up. It's going to take some time, some nourishment for this team to really be a powerhouse. So if, you know, even if Virtus.pro have their way, this looks like a game that's not going to be a brief 20-minute just kind of stomp. I say that now, but
yeah,
just based on their lineup, it doesn't feel like they have as many options to be able to just kind of blow through their team, you know?
I like what Elements picked because it's what they're comfortable with, and I think they're going to do a lot better this game than the other one, than the previous one. And picking up Weaver, they don't have Virtus.pro. It's a good pickup because Virtus.pro doesn't have any control for Nerubian Weaver. It's only Earthshaker and that's it.
All right, now that we have the draft before us, before we throw it over to our casters, can we get some quick predictions here? We'll start with you, Gods.
Yeah, well, I think you'd stick with VP. I think they have a very safe standard VP draft. Elements are looking a lot more solid with their lanes, but I think VP is still the stronger team.
I'm still going to go for VP. And
no game 3?
No game 3, yeah, because I don't know, the VP just needs some time to build up with their levels, items, and I think it's going to be a clean game again.
Well, let's see how the game pans out. We'll throw it over to our casters right now. Actually, we're going to wait for a second is the word I'm getting. So now that we have the predictions out there, you're banking on the fact that Virtus.pro do need that little bit of a build-up. What do Elements need to do? They built up a lineup where they want to get off the bat right away with a good head start. How much are they banking on having that laning phase go successfully for them?
They want to find kills, find some pickoffs, get this Earth Spirit involved. Very active on the map is something which is going to be key, I think, for LeBron. You said it's kind of one of his signature heroes. He plays it all the time in pubs. It's kind of what got him recognized a bit.
Well, we'll see how it goes, but they have really good, aggressive lineup, and if they pull it out, maybe we'll see a game 3.
I mean, it's like aggressive versus heroes that can punish aggressive play. If Earthshaker or Shadow Demon's in the right position, you go to aggressive, something that disruption, that fissure, there's a TP in, and suddenly you're getting turned around on. So it's going to be this kind of who reads the movements maybe a bit better around the map to get get better early game.
Could we suspect that Virtus Pro might even throw one of those 2 supports in the mid lane as kind of a babysitter? Do we know elements to kind of go right into that early game regression? I mean, I know for Earth Spirit, it's critical to kind of get the ball rolling, if you will, right off the bat, because if you're not able to make that impact at the start, you kind of fall off a bit. He doesn't really have good farming potential. You know, he's all about fighting. He's all about making early game aggression.
They have a OD on mid who can set up a good gank for Earth Spirit.
That's true.
It's pretty easy kill if no one is on middle lane, but I think Earthshaker is going to be behind Sniper, so Sniper's going to be fine.
Yeah, I mean, we already know that on paper that matchup is a bit unfortunate for the OD, but is there anything they can do to kind of help him out in that mid lane? Or is it something that they're just going to have to sack then and there? I know I already mentioned like maybe the Earth Spirit will come in and intercept a bit. Does that make it much more necessary now?
It's going to cause rotation, as I said, from VP supports. It's going to be a Shadow Demon and most likely Earthshaker in the first place.
All right. Looks like we do have a game underway as the pause has been lifted, so let's get into it. We'll throw it over to our casters right now. It's Toby, Juan, and Fogged.
Thanks a lot, Dakota. Yep, we are back for game number 2. Elements looking to see if they can repair what, well, I would say the damage that was done in a very short span of time of 18 minutes here in game number 2. We've gone for a slightly different draft. Out from Elements, will it be enough, Fogged?
It's a different draft, but I still feel they're lacking a bit of deep push again. However, they did pick a ton of team fight. So as long as the lanes go decent for them, they should be okay to battle for those tier 1s, which seemed to be the biggest problem in the last game. But I'm looking at Lil. I'm kind of curious what he's going to be doing on his Earthshaker. I think he's going to do like a similar thing that he did with his Earth Spirit. He's probably going to, block the off lane, so he guarantees his Omni Knight to get some levels there, and then he's just going to run around and make space. He can really just disrupt the middle lane, not allow any aggression to really happen from the OD, and if OD does use Astral in like a weighted like CS or to just any type of defensive manner or something, he can just get fissured up, shrapnel on top, and it's a potential kill from the Sniper since he has such a good matchup versus OD in that nature.
Yeah, I felt pretty confident as well for, obviously the OD pickup is something they wanted to go for, but to do that when there was still Sniper in the pool, to pick up directly after, there was no ban phase for them to actually use before that pickup came.
Yep, Lil is going to just fissure the offlane. Yeah, he's just going to guarantee Omni Knight getting levels. And even uses the Shrine right away. So there's actually really cool usage there. So instead of using his Clarity, he just pops the Shrine that's in the base while using the fissure block. So saving himself gold, saving himself efficiency. They do miss the D ward in the mid lane, though. They just actually got it off, so a nice lane ward there coming out for Elements, so the OD should be able to do quite decent there, but it is, Sniper versus OD, which is a little bit Sniper favored, and he has a lane ward as well.
So he can just play the distance, but he needs the earlier levels. But Lil's movement in already, so Cole will understand what he's up against. No early harassment, that's going to be a real pain.
Yeah, this frees up the Darkseer to get pretty much uncontested free farm in this bottom lane. Since Earthshaker is sitting in the mid lane in vision, Darkseer can pressure the Juggernaut. Shadow Demon can't really do too much down there alone. He's just going to stack and try to be as efficient as possible.
We're actually talking about the hero we kind of wanted for Ramses, something to go up against the Darkseer, something that causes a lot of issues for the Darkseer. The Darkseer wants to have that nice little burn damage against the Juggernaut, but Healing Ward's going to counter most of that. The other option they had was the Lifestealer option, where they start off with a spin. Mitch will have to take that little bit of extra damage. Remember, Ramsey doesn't take any extra damage from the Iron Shell, so they'll turn around for a disruption. Now, the Omni Knight died in the meantime, so Elements do spill first blood up on that top lane, and Mitch will survive the initial attack.
Pasha just played very aggressively, used Repel inside the creep wave, and then he just got chased down by the Weaver and the Earth Spirit rotation with the Boulder coming in and cleans him up. So good rotations there by Elements to get that, but now Pasha does have double range creep coming into his favor in the offlane, so he will be able to get some good experience there.
So sacrifices his life, but still gets what he wants.
Yeah.
But this is a lot better start for the safe laner. 11 for 3. Actually completely out CSing Ramses. He's having a very tough time, even though he's got some extra creeps into the tower at the moment. But this is spelling good for the Weaver, so he's going to hit his power spike a lot earlier than the safe laner of VP.
Yeah, Lil is just pulling neutrals, actually. So he pulls the bottom camp into the safe lane with a fissure. So he reduces some of Mitch's farming levels and gets himself a bit of doing that. So it looks like Lil is just abusing a bit. It's a bit of abuse.
Now, what are you up to as well, Solo? Running around the back, at least saying hello to Mitch. If Cole walks up the hill, actually that fissure does block him in, but no one's holding onto the shrapnel charges for the moment too. And with the Earth Spirit just around the corner, Lil's not going to engage.
Yeah, still had Astral up as well, so it's a bit hard to go for the chase down. I do see Lowen be very liberal with his shrapnel usage, though. He's usually just kind of like spamming it in a very aggressive manner. 2 shrapnels used, pushes Cole out again. Nice fissures, just being very annoying by Lil, and he's making LeBron sit around mid lane, so LeBron can't make these like free rotations to top or make those moves bottom with the Darkseer with the Ion Shell, just because this Earthshaker is being such a nuisance in the mid lane. Gets a regen too, so...
To be honest, with all this pressure, I was expecting Cole to have a lot less CS than he already has. Like, it's been quite a decent start, and you were saying it, like, with all the team fight, which elements have, all you need to do is have, like, a half-decent start in your laning phase, and you're going to be good. And Mitch doesn't have that same issue as, like, the Nyx Assassin had before. You're actually having presence in the lane, and also having the ability just to leave and farm for a small period of time.
Yeah. Cole went for the double null build, and no one also went for the double Wraithband build, so kind of like a mirror matchup kind of thing. We don't see everybody do the double null on OD, but I think double Wraithband on Sniper is pretty core top lane.
Yeah, they've got Glimpse available too. Repel's going to wear off, and this will just allows Gogi to pull Pasha straight back in again, but the damage output, it just isn't enough. So TP successful from the Omni Knight. He's away to safety.
Yeah. Pasha recognizing what he needs to do in that lane. As soon as Glimpse is used, he can always just TP out. No other lockdown unless the Earth Spirit's there. LeBron constantly taking the enemy bounty rune. At least he's limiting that from the Omni Knight, but he's not really having a whole lot of presence as this Earth Spirit after that first blood. Not really. He's just kind of having to like sit around lanes, making sure that the OD doesn't get pressure to our Lil. Trying to go for a pull here into the tower, but okay, he's just pulling it into the tower and hitting it like that. Okay.
But that's one way to do it.
That's one way to do it. It's one way to get levels without taking...
So Solo's already disrupting up this bottom lane enough, and they kind of need to. Like, this is the downside that Mitch has. Like, while I said, hey, he's got some nice early levels, he's actually having presence in the lane. His CS is so much better than Game 1, but because the Iron Shells are pushing the wave down so far into no man's land, he can't get any of the experience he's really looking for.
Yeah, Lil wasn't really showing in mid at all. Like, I think that's also the benefit of him doing this kind of weird pull thing in the bottom lane, is that he's not showing on the map at all. So Mitch is like, I can't play aggressively. Top lane Pasha is actually getting gone on again. Repel being used, he's got the bug on him. One more auto attack, he's not going to get it.
No, and even not Shikuchiing under the lane, but it's in mid lane too, where no one got initiated on. You do have the imprisonment up. You've still got Glimpse available here from Gogi. Lil's in the neighborhood. His fissure is also up, so they start off with the disruption. That's over on the Earth Spirit. He wants to roll out. Won't happen. It was actually on cooldown too. So the Earth Spirit will actually be punished for the initiation that Elements began.
Yeah, typical VP, 5 minutes in. First nighttime making their first rotation toward the mid lane. And it's actually at the same time as Elements makes the first aggressive move too, so it's a good responsive situation for the VP. While Ramsey just gets left in bottom lane, which is just fine for him. He's almost 6 now too, so he can even go for the solo kill on Mitch, which looks like he wants to go for it, gets it, and he's gone.
Yeah, with the spin they do have it. Meanwhile, up on top lane, the Purification. I was wondering if they're going to get into a better position for it with that disruption, catching the Weaver out. It was just a simple group up into Purification, and the damage was guaranteed.
That's a huge kill for Pasha. Level 5 now, he's going to have the Arcane Boots at the same time as the last game. Last game he had pretty much free farming lane there, and now he's got it at the same time anyway. LeBron looking to get aggressive on no one here in the mid lane. Lil does not have a TP as well, so no one looks to be a bit alone, but they don't really have the pressure proper for it.
Cover. Like,
he blocks the roll.
Gets in front. Earth Spirit can't get back to the right side of the river, and a quick assassination. He had the repel available as well to give that extra protection for the sniper to go for it.
Nice play from Pasha there, having that TP. Neither of the supports had TP since they just made those rotations, so Pasha was the one to be able to respond.
Just want to flag that top fight again. Like the fact that you're able to get a kill over on a Weaver with an SD and Omni Knight without having any form of detection.
Yeah, no detection. Earthshaker's their only lockdown really in this game too for him. Oh, the early kills are very important. Oh, mid lane. Could see the aggression come out. We have an Invis Pasha.
Yeah, he's waiting.
Here we go.
To jump in forward, and now with the Purification, you've still got Assassination available, but it's not even required for this. With a rolling boulder forward, LeBron, do you really want a piece of this? Like, yeah, he's going to come into it. No one knows he's a little bit more damage. Now starts the Assassination. The damage output is enough. So they give a double kill. The response scrappy and then punished by Virtus Pro.
Yeah, Mitch doing this whole jungle thing is leaving everybody on, all the supports on the side of VP to just kind of run around and sit on the mid lane. Pasha already got what he needed in the top lane, so he knows he can just sit behind no one in mid lane and all the aggression just gets completely seized. And now some efficiency coming up from VP, farming up a stack with the 3 heroes bottom.
The advantage for Elements this time around is you don't have a Luna in the field. So
absolutely.
The pressure into the tower and that really big burst of both magical damage and physical damage that she offers from Aura, it doesn't exist in this fight. But they will still have matchup problems with the fact that Juggernaut can still solo pick off, and with Healing Ward you do have momentum just through more sustain than anything else.
Yeah, he's going to have that Dominator finished up very shortly for himself. Oh, Solo even snatches the bounty room.
Rolling Boulder's coming in forward, but Lil just gets the Fissure stun off. They have enough damage with the stun down if he can get the totem hit. No, Lil just starts his TP, so does Solo. Lil is out and Solo, no, he doesn't get out. In fact, neither does Lil.
Nice response. 2 TPs from the safe lane. LeBron also being there. A little bit greedy and aggressive by VP, but getting punished by the early TPs on the side of Elements, and we get a 4-man Shrine usage. And yeah, TP to the top lane from Ramses. This is a typical maneuver we see from lots of carry players now for a couple months now. It's like as soon as they start to invade your safe lane, you go invade theirs, and just kind of a mirror matchup.
It's also the perfect timing as well. Like, Pasha's going to give him the extra life. He spun to push the creep wave on the bottom out, so Elements had to commit somebody to try and defend that bottom tier 1. Allows them to have such a better trade-off. Like, their tier 1 towers are going to remain very well protected. And what are you going to do as Elements? Spend the time walking to top lane?
Yeah, you just that tower just gets dropped. Mitch can try to put some ion shells and stuff to push it up, but it will be futile.
Now, Pasha realized that he went in and intercepted the creep wave with the ion shell, so it doesn't even get to Ramses.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
And now the rest of Virtus Pro are walking down a bottom lane. They TP'd one up. Rolling Boulder comes in on top of the Shadow Demon underneath the tower. You just have Weaver fighting against Weaver, who has to time-lapse himself away from his own illusions. LeBron also successful with the TP. So you get a kill on a support, but you do very minimal damage to a tier 1 tower.
Yeah, nice aggressive play at least by them there, but yeah, not getting a tower, which is definitely better. They need to get objectives early on. Elements, they don't really have the best building siegers. Weaver's okay, but that's about it. While on the other side, Sniper and Juggernaut are pretty damn good at hitting buildings versus the lineup of Elements with Healing Ward. And Omni Knight. Omni Knight kind of makes it a lot easier. Looks like we're going to have another movement coming out. Do we have the 6s on the supports? Disruptor's got the 6.
They just smoked underneath the Radiant Observer Ward, so Virtus Pro have all the information about this movement from Elements.
Yeah, they're waiting. Lil knows exactly where it's coming from.
And they find their target, Lil.
It's an Invis rune.
He wants to tank it. He doesn't know about the Invis rune. That's why the Storm is actually going to create a little bit of problems with the stun. Also doing its work from Lil. So much damage and time. They have enough. Ramses has the Omni Slash available. LeBron's is going to be brought down. It's a double kill for Ramses already. They walk around the wall, and now it's up. With the Omni Slash, they can get a quick kill over to Mitch and turn the attention over towards Swiftling. He does bring down the SD, but no, with the stun and the Guardian Angel, they can't do enough damage to actually find a kill on the TPing out TPing out Sniper. But Swiftling, hopefully, if he can just get something as well, a double kill, picking up Pasha, moving forward. The Iron Shell's going to wear off in just a moment, and Ramses is a little bit too tanky for him to get that kill as well.
Weaver getting the kills is very nice for him. Very important that they actually get something out of that smoke. But yeah, VP responding with multiple heroes. They saw it under the ward, so we do see that happen. And we know that Cole went for a Midas this game on the OD. So he's not going to be joining the fray too early, trying to get that net worth advantage, since he did have a bit of a struggle in the mid lane.
Fissure, not going to reach.
Just off the mark.
He tried. He really did try for that. Swiftling very confidently actually Shikuching back in closer again.
Very little lockdown for this Weaver, and who's gotten a pretty darn good start. He did die once, but getting his Dragon Lance, well, it's at base, will be big. He's going to be fairly tanky and have a good amount of damage dealing out with that Blightstone build up. But Ramses, with that dominated creep, putting as much pressure as possible on these tier 1s.
Lil's trying to bait out the Fissure animation, see if he can get some kind of reaction out from the Weaver. Elements was waiting a little bit longer. The Storm came off cooldown, just as the attack was coming on the tower.
They've got Disruptor ulti again. They do have the Static Storm.
Yep,
so
there's the Fissure.
Be careful diving.
Weaver still gets the denial even when stunned up, but he just used his Shikuchi in. Time-lapse is available. He's going to use it just to jump back down again. Ramsey with a lot of regeneration. Does Golden actually want to No, he's not going to commit the glimpse.
Goji he tried to be very aggressive with his Static Storm there, but versus Juggernaut with an Omni Knight on the team, he just actually ends up wasting his ulti completely and the tier 1 drop. So now this is VP's time to just continue. They can keep on the aggressive here since one of the big ultimates was used.
They smoked up. Lil needs to actually fidget back up to the high ground, even if it is going to be a little bit blind. They don't have enough damage. So Lil, okay, well the Purification, the Healing Ward, there's way too much sustain coming from this. But no more Shrapnel charges available at the moment for no one.
Yeah, Earth Spirit wasn't there. He was picking up his Tome. He's almost level 6-2, which gives him a big window of team fight.
Glimpse. Yep.
Repel.
Yeah. Try and drag Solo back into the fight.
The objective has been taken already, though, from VP. So this is Elements just kind of with a late type of response, and VP's going to back up and just back to efficiency, back to farming.
Isn't that the response you're looking for, though? Like, you're running a Disruptor. You always want to have that kind of punish scenario where you can just glimpse back, but Omni Knight just throws a spanner in the works.
Yeah, it makes it completely different. You have to now he's definitely gonna have to change up the way he goes for those type of plays. They're gonna have to get vision of this Omni Knight more, and it makes it a little hard for the lineup that they have. They don't really have a clear initiator on the side of Elements, but they don't really have an initiator on the side of VP. But VP's lineup is fine with that. They just siege towers from distance with Earthshaker in the back line. It's up to Elements to make the actual play go on them at those tier 1s. Bottom lane.
Yeah, you start off with a disruption, but they're all forward from LeBron, trying to create some space. Ramsey's had no desire to go into that. But they force a reaction. They also see a little bit more vision of elements of their heroes. Probably one of the reasons why no one's being as aggressive as he is into the Dire jungle. Like, Lil's a fair way out, and you're running a sniper on top of the Dire bounty rune.
I love where he's farming. It's actually so... The OD and the sniper are like right next to each other in the enemy in the Dire jungle. It's just cute little positioning.
Is the OD ever going to suspect that the sniper is doing that? No.
No way. Mitch now, I believe that's his mech finished up. It is at base, so that could be their window to try to go for a fight. VP already going for this pressure on the tower. They've got everybody in position. Sniper is the only one who can TP and respond.
Swiftwing trying to do a little bit more damage to the Juggernaut. The kick flies for, but it's way too far off target.
Yeah, that's pretty much their only initiation, is hoping he gets a big boulder through.
Lil's able to get the stun again. They go for a purge on the Weaver too. Punishment, glimpse, level 3. They pull back repelled. Solo, but nope, they're going to be repelled. And then again, no initiation. The kick does fly down to Lil with a rolling ball to fall, but disruption from Solo. They want to go on Ramsey, but he gets a spin off before the wall has any kind of real effect.
He's got Healing Ward too. That completely counteracts Magnetize. LeBron is dead.
Perfect fissure, perfect control. No one was taking out the tower while they were waiting to kill off the Earth Spirit. Like, there's almost no time and no positioning being lost from Virtus Pro.
They're having too hard of a time fighting into the Omni. The Omni Knight just sits in the back line with the Earthshaker, and there's no way they can initiate. Every single time they go for something, the repel comes out, the disruption comes out.
For a sentry down, but VP still don't actually have vision on the other side. But Elements aren't going to fight this, and VP know it. That's why they're taking this tier 2 tower, not just stopping at the tier 1.
It's the same kind of thing as the last game in a way. Just VP is the ones making the moves, just because they have this type of 5-man ball lineup that Elements can't really respond into. They can't get their Darkseer actually involved into these fights, even though he is their most powerful hero pretty much now. Even though he's not in the net worth, he's got the mech finished up. He's their big team fighter on top of the Disruptor and Earth Spirit.
But it still only happens if you get that pullback. If you force VP into a more clustered position, like something like Roshan, then you have a better chance with something like a Darkseer. But that's your only opportunity. Like, Mitch doesn't have anywhere near a Blink Dagger. And even then, his mana pool isn't really... Well, I say it's just sufficient enough at the moment.
Ramsey's porting in mid. He wants to get this deny. I think she's going to get it.
Radiant's middle tower has been denied.
So the first tower, Elements gets to take us denied. At least they got to deny their own mid tower as well.
Yeah, losing the tier 2 bottom, I think, is the big one for me, just because they get all these aggressive wards now from VP, so they're able to watch all the movements every time someone exits the base. So as long as they see nobody bottom, they're like, okay, there's no one bottom, it's just the Darkseer. The rest are top sitting around the OD, and this is where they're going to make their move. They're going to smoke to find the aggression. I think they actually just saw that swarm going across. Solo does get his smoke broken, so they do know that the Weaver's on the high ground. He's got a sentry ready for it, too.
But thanks to the Observe Ward, which is down from Elements, they see it. Oh, no, we got the sentry with the disruption out and the fissure. The timing was a little bit off, but commit the Echo Slam. And Ramsey's also commits the Omni Slash. That's what got him the kill.
Yeah, definitely worth it. The Weaver is their hardest player right now, hardest carry for sure. The OD's just been kind of farming. He's not really involved in the game. He's got his Dragon Lance, or his Hurricane Pike even finished up too, so he's got a decent chunk of damage with that max Arcane Orb, but into a 5-man lineup like VP is constantly running.
A 5-man lineup where you can't reach the back line, you can't reach the damage dealer because he's sitting back next to the Omni Knight. So if you jump the sniper, Omni Knight's going to save him. If you jump the front lines, Omni Knight just shifts forward a little bit and then saves the front line.
Yeah, it's going to be really up to the way LeBron positions himself in these fights. He has to get the flank. Like, the only way for them to even to fight into VP's lineup at all is for him to get the flank, catch the SD, catch the Omni. They have to be able to get rid of these defensive supports just having free reign. They just sit back there and siege the tower from distance, and there's nothing that Elements is doing.
It's going to get worse once Lil gets that extra bit of cash. Like, he's just hit 1,500 working towards the Blink Dagger. Like, then you have to deal with both the counter initiation and that first bit of initiation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good luck.
That as tribute.
Ramsey's also finding other ways to break free. He's almost completed up his Manta style. So no silence control from the Earth Spirit will even help you there.
Yeah, Elements, like, taking a glance back actually at the draft, they're super magic-oriented. It's just the Weaver who's like any of their physicals, so that repel, these small things are extremely powerful versus their lineup. So will VP want to defend this bottom tower? They do know that Elements is all making the move down there. It's all depending on how they want to respond. That tower is kind of a death trap. We've seen it time and time again that you try to defend this tower, there's too many angles of approach to get sieged on from there. So dropping that one is just fine. They even have a defensive ward already set up in their jungle too from VP.
Yep. And with that ward, they're able to see if Elements are going to push in even deeper. Because if they don't, then they keep doing what they've been doing before, which is aggressively moving into the Dire jungle. Thanks to the Observe Ward, which is down from Elements, they are seeing when Virtus.pro is doing that now.
All wands will break.
Cole's literally just been farming this whole time. So at least there's that. He's got, the Hurricane Pike, as I mentioned before. He's going to go for that Blink to get into the backlines, and, the Astral Blink combo. I think it's just a core item that OD needs majority of the games. Bottom lane.
Radiant's bottom
just taunting him with an Assassinate from no one.
That little click. But it would be very difficult to get that kill. Yeah, it's a level 2 assassination with a level 4 purifier, but both need to connect.
It's too bad that no one on the side of Elements actually has... The Disruptor has the wards, but the Earth Spirit doesn't, so they can't even get like a deep aggressive ward with their siege. So they pretty much only have defensive wards now on the side of Elements for now. And they're not going to be able to really see any of the moves that VP is doing for the next couple moments. Is that a Desolator finished up? It is. So Weaver does have his Deso finished. Weaver, Dragonlance and Desolator. Pretty good. Not too bad for 20 minutes. After dying, twice?
Yeah. Yeah, he's got those 2 deaths, but he's also found the 4 kills and 2 assists, so he's been involved in everything that Elements have gotten.
Here we go. Shadow Demon time. Disruption with the Juggernaut, who's starting to get some farm. It's very fun.
It always feels like a distraction play. Like, you just send that many down mid, then you run straight up towards the top lane and start to push there. So Manta, SD, at least the OD's really adept at killing them off. Like, that's your biggest upside.
Yeah.
But the downside is Ramsey doesn't care.
Solo. Like, he's grabbed on the sidelines here. He does get the disruption on Swift Ending. They do have a sentry down, though. He needs to be careful.
Fish up. It connects. They have to wait. Pasha actually gets the heal. Quick timeless back down again, and he's away. Assassination sticks with the Weaver. But that Weaver's now taken way too much damage. He cannot be here to defend the tier 2 tower.
Yeah, Lil he didn't want to use the Echo Slam this time. I think he could have, honestly. I think he could have just echoed and taken out the Weaver there. His Enchant Totem was just a slight pick off the mark, so he wanted to save the Echo, but
he also
either way, they get the objective, so it's perfectly fine saving your spells.
Yep.
Uncontested.
God, look at what's flying. Hurricane Pike is on the way for no one.
Yeah, they're just going to go high ground here.
Yep. So the tier 3 tiger is assaulted, and Elements is in no position to come back and fight. In fact, Earthspread even has to wait for his TP to come off cooldown. Goggy doesn't even have one. Are they actually letting this tier 3 tower fall without any...
for a smoke wrap. This is the best. This is the thing they need to do. They need to get on the back line. But it's still very difficult because Blink, Earthshaker, they have all the different forms of counter initiation, and VP is very spread out.
Yep.
Lil is all the way in the top side. Solo is spread out too.
At least that disruption was then used. So the courier gets sniped on the back lines. This happened just before the fight begins. So Lil waiting in the tree lines. He gets the Fissure and the Echo Slam control on the back. While Mitch is in a hell of a lot of trouble after he took a big brunt of the Omni Slash damage. But a lot of the abilities committed by Virtus.pro. Maybe now Elements can get their opening forward. maybe there is something, but Earthshaker, Fidge is going to come off cooldown. OD drops the hammer, doesn't find the kill. The Glimpse pulling no one back in again. Cole does have that double kill. They turn their attention towards where now? Ramses appears to be the primary target, and he'll start off his TP. With the repel, they have nothing to stop that, so they move on to a different target. It's Pasha around the tree lines, the back from Mitch, able to reach him in, and a triple kill for Cole. Elements finally getting themselves something really worth talking about.
Great distraction play by LeBron and by Swift Endings. Swift actually barely survived in that one. He lives with like 10 HP from the Assassinate, but they distracted it, and they split up the fight. They caused a lot of just different nuisances in there, and it caught VP completely off guard. Excellent Echo Slam from Lil, but not being able to focus down the Air Spirit, who just kept causing like problems in the back, and then Goji getting a really nice glimpse off on no one with the Static Storm on top.
Solo's using first the catch at a scout.
Oh my god,
wow.
Cole's dying.
Yeah, Ramses was having his quick run in too. He has a self-imprisonment. Ramses then just starts up the spin. A quick jump up, however. He had the Blink Dagger available, and it's up to Swiftling. Maybe he can get that kill over on Solo. The bugs are on him. Mitch back and back in again, actually pulling in Lil with him. Lil has the blink available, but no vision, no stun up, and that's why Cole jumps further to the north. They're actually trapping Virtus Pro around the pit. This is the fight for Elements, but can they keep it up with a kick forward?
Stun.
Yes, they can. LeBron can do it, and now the supports will fall too. It's already a triple kill for Cole. It's about to be more an ultra kill for Cole. The OD fighting through that with 48 stolen intelligence, and now Roshan, what Virtus Pro tried to stop happening, Elements will not take.
He still had a good amount of stolen int from the previous fight. So when he went down there, I think he still had like 36 or something. So when he blinked, after Ramses used his spin and an aggressive maneuver to try to stop the blink out from the Astral, he actually gets caught in a position where he doesn't have anything defensive to save him. So he gets glimpsed back in. Cole with a very nice aggressive blink into the back lines, or into the sniper pretty much, and he cleans up both of the carries.
Oh, we hit the unlucky mark for either team right now. It's 13-13 on the board. And Solo's still wondering if anyone is around Roshan.
This is where Elements gets all their power, though. It's these scrappy engagements where they have different angles of approach rather than just coming from the front line where VP has it very easy. They just sit the Earthshaker, the SD, and the Omni in the back. If Elements just surrounds them, that's where they can just fight. They cause so many different problems in the fight with wall, with the magnetized spreading, and then they have to watch out for the bugs as well, and a glimpse. Just too many different things coming out from Elements for VP to deal with when it's at that type of angle.
VP, they have some nice entry positioning. They're going to lose one of these right now. So they're planning down more, and they see the dire one. So here comes the Swarm. Connect over on Ramses as well as Roshan. Rolling boulder. The kick is perfect with the Darkseer wall, but Echo Slam from Lil and the fissure hit. Oh my lord. Elements cop it really hard. Roshan is still slayed by the Radiant side, and no one sits inside the pit in relative safety, picking off these illusions, turning his attention over towards the OD. A defensive imprisonment will save him for a little bit longer. Goggy, he can't run away in time. Elements will be wiped, and Virtus Pro, not only do they claim Roshan, they hold the Aegis, and they wipe Elements.
Yeah, Cole goes in very aggressively again, but he didn't have as many int stacks as he probably would have wanted to get the Sanity Eclipse damage. So he does get a decent one, but it's not enough to clean up the heroes, and everyone else being taken out too is just, it leaves him alone versus 4 heroes, and that's where they got back into their kind of defensive position. The Earthshaker went toward the back line, the Omni Knight as well. Although the Shadow Demon died, they had better vision of the fight and just a better angle of approach. A million sentries as well in the area for the Weaver, so even if he's Sakuchi, he's seen every single time.
And Ramses will finally do what he tried to do before. With the creep wave in through the mid, there's no backdoor regeneration. Fortification will have to be triggered by Elements, but with the Alpha behind him, Ramses is already doing a lot of damage. And he's going to try and finish up the melee ranks. It's not done yet. It's now actually going to tick out. There's no one doing the work from range. And the glimpse, well, there's no hold. This time for Ramses, his spin is back up again. Without that storm from the Disruptor, they can't really punish the Juggernaut.
I'm trying to think in the last fight too. LeBron got a 2-man stun, and then I think he tried to silence the Omni Knight, and I think Omni Knight already had Guardian Greaves too, so I think he removed the silence too. So I was just trying to like figure out how he got his spells off that whole time. So the Guardian Greaves there definitely coming into play. Solo, you are alone, my friend. Lil wants to help him, but I don't think that he's going to be able to.
Kick time from LeBron was just way too good. So Lil will back out.
They do clean themselves in racks.
He actually can help him next time. Yes. He's already got the 4-staff sitting in his stash, so with a Blink Dagger, plus having a 4-staff, it's a highly maneuverable Earthshaker, but also really difficult for Elements to keep one hero locked down when Lil's there to help.
Yeah, absolutely. Shadow Demon is going to just go for a Ghost Scepter. I thought Lil might go for the Glimmer Cape since they're so magic-oriented on the side of Elements, but Force Staff works as well just to get them off the Sniper. That's the most important thing in this game. Just have Sniper in the backlines.
Are you a big fan of the double Mjolnir? You've already got one over on no one, and now you got another one appearing on the Juggernaut?
It's the highest damage potential item in the game right now for the cost. So
he just switched his quick buy. I think he's realized there's already one there. But if he has the Hyperstone, I was thinking like he could just like transition into something more like, I don't know, I don't know if you really want to go Assault Cuirass against this kind of lineup.
Yeah, probably not. I think getting the double Mjolnir is just good, but I think getting more stats is good too because he's kind of like their frontliner as this Juggernaut, and stats as with Shadow Demon on your team is much more important than damage because you just make the illusions do all the damage, and yeah, it's all based off stats.
Yeah, so he completes up the Lightning Shield and Mjolnir. So yeah, into the Scotty straight after.
Yeah, I think it's still very good. That item is pretty ridiculous.
Well, Virtus Pro are now grouping themselves up to go down through the bottom lane. There's a double damage rune, only freshly triggered over on Ramses. This will make this push a little bit quicker. At 680 crits.
Cole's still very farmed on this OD. Blink Shiva's Hurricane Pike. He's going to be going for that BKB next. This looks like they might go for the smoke again. It was their best move last time, wrapping around in the top lane, so why not again?
There's observers and sentries down from Virtus Pro, so they'll see normal maneuvering around the back, but they won't see this. But the tier 3 tower is already down.
They get the scan off.
They have to look. They have to look for the tree line. They have to look to the tree line right now. Elements to try and find Lil. Mitch, the kick is nice. They catch out the Juggernaut, but then the pushback from the Sniper. He gets the range, and Lil holds the OD in position. That's the bigger one. Cole's going to get almost no damage off in this fight. Lil keeps the control, continuously going over on the Disruptor. Assassination's not enough to get one. Quick time lapse out, buybacks galore. But now, I think VP is farming illusions more than they're farming heroes. I'll now correct that as they've gone inside the base.
Swift Ending gets grabbed down in Sakuchi as well, and he just gets blown up.
Very, very difficult to defend this, but it's all or nothing. That's why they commit the buybacks. Mitch with another fact. The OD ulti is good enough. Four-man kick, but Lil's fissure, it may have created enough space for Guardian Angel as well as the Purification to come up. So Lil will do even more work for his team. Aegis Immortal triggered over on the Sniper. His Hurricane Pike's available so he can push himself down. Right now he's just standing his ground against Mitch. No one just wants to be a beast. He'll push back Goggy, but he'll finally fall. Cole with that 40 soul and intelligence, they do repel them, but the cost is insanely great. There was
5 buybacks.
6 buybacks in total, actually. I didn't realize the ES also triggered his.
Yep. Bought back and ran all like there was a lot of little individual plays there, but overall it was just great positioning from VP. Lil gets a nice echo in the backline to hold down the OD, so he doesn't able to get all the damage off while the stuff is happening in the backlines. Even force-staffed the OD into the high ground into his team as well. So nice little cheeky play there by Lil, but overall VP's team fight just looking a little bit too strong still for Elements to deal with, having to use 5 buybacks and still losing their tier 3.
That's problematic to say the least. And you know Virtus Pros is going to group up and do it all over again when all the abilities are up.
And once they have their BKBs, like once the Sniper has his own BKB, which he's pretty much has, he can sell his Wraithband for it.
Oh, hello.
It makes it so much easier.
Oh, Swift. He didn't know Solo was standing up on top of the hill. So Pasha will come in. Just a quick purification. It's nothing too risky for them. It's the fact there's no other stuns nearby. Lil was around, but not close enough.
Oh, yeah. The Shrines are still up. That's right. Yep. You can get a little bit of surge in income from those. While everybody gets back, we do have the BKB finished up for no one as well, so now the Repel can be used on... He can even use it on himself in a lot of these situations, because Ramses already has the spin, he has the Manta too, but more than likely, Pasha still just throw the Repel on Ramses and no one can deal with everything on his own. And both of them going to go for the Scotty build, just stats. More int is always better to build too versus OD, so you take reduced damage from the Sanities and Clips later on, but yeah, stats with the Shadow Demon on your lineup is just what you want.
Well, here comes VP, and here comes the wraparound, but without smoke this time around, with a lot of sentries. Kick flies forward, and it's very easy to dodge for Virtus Pro, and they ping out. Like there's going to be some kind of vision around on them.
They still need to watch the way they're clumping, because in the last situation, they still are getting, 2, 3, maybe 4-man vacuum into a boulder smash, which is very scary, because Sanity's Eclipse is still no joke. But now, just peeping from the low ground, they claim the range racks.
Here we go again. So round 2, we'll see how much it's going to cost VP to push or Elements to defend. Solo isolated on the back lines. Again, that was a big oldie from the OG, but the Omni Slash just destroys out the OD. 100 seconds for him on the sidelines. This is where the buybacks are really, really punishing. The death timers are so long. Swift had no other choice. He had to time-lapse out now. A quick jump away, but the assassination's there. An ultra kill for No One, and that is good game, well played. Taking 32 minutes and almost 32 seconds to wrap up this game. Virtus Pro will win the first quarterfinal with a 2-1, 2-0.
Elements still had some good signs of fight in that game. They had much more synergy, much more cohesion and teamwork with this type of like heavy team fight lineup. So I think that benefits them more than the playstyle that they were going for before. But overall, VP just had crisper movement on the map, and just having these type of defensive supports and the way that they, I think the way that they approached the fights was just perfect. And Elements, I think, recognized a bit too late the way that they should. They need to get those wraparounds. They need to catch the Shadow Demon and then go for these like wall combos and just causing this whole nuisance in the back line just to make it much more difficult, because VP wants to have those defensive supports just kind of chilling there.
And Elements definitely going to have to go back to the drawing board, but they've got a little bit of time as there's still another best of 3 to come before they're going to play their lower bracket round. But there was a little bit more light coming out from Game 2 than there was Game 1. So that's something nice to take home from it all with a good OD play. He did end up going with 11-4-3 on that OD, so did a hell of a lot of work, did more damage than anyone else in his team, but it was still the heavy lifting. 35,000 damage total coming in from No One. It was terrific performance from Virtus Pro, and they'll also get to have themselves a break as they now get themselves into the first semi-final. But we'll be back in just a bit but first the panel for their wonderful words, and then our next best of 3.